Let me show you the difference between Cadmium Red and Venetian Red. We'll be using them as the red color in the Zorn palette, a powerful limited palette consisting of only 4 colors: yellow and red, and black and white. This palette is very useful for painting models and realistic portraits. It helps to simplify and keep your colors balanced. Although not invented by Anders Zorn, his fabulous use of this limited palette did make it world famous. Some say Zorn used vermilion as his red. Others say it was cadmium red, which is what we'll be using in this example. Cadmium red light is a strong and highly saturated color with a slight yellow shade. When using it in a realistic portrait, we have to be very careful to not oversaturate our skin colors. Mixing it with titanium white gives very dominant and strong pinks that are quickly too highly saturated, so we tend to mute it down. Here's an example of the masterful portrait Sargent painted with cadmium red. We see that even the most saturated parts here are somewhat muted down, but it still feels so colorful because of the gray-greenish surroundings. On the other hand, we have the Venetian red, used by many old masters. It is already a more muted color, which can be helpful when mixing flesh tones. Your portrait will not get overly saturated. Mixing it with white gives pinks that look much calmer and more natural. But with Venetian red, the challenge is not to get colors that are too muddy. Here's an excellent example of the use of Venetian red in a portrait by Velázquez, a great master of tone and color use. It might take more practice to keep your skin colors fresh, vivid and clean by using Venetian red. There is, however, an easy way to fix that. But first, let's take a look at the oranges. Mixing cadmium red with yellow ochre gives beautiful, strong and deep oranges. Ochre is a muted yellow, but the cadmium is so dominant that it prevails the whole mixture. Again, this may be too saturated for a classical portrait, but it can be quite suitable for modern portraiture or landscapes. Mixing the same yellow ochre with the Venetian red gives oranges that are much more calm, closer to real life. The differences are smallest when mixing with ivory black. Both reds will give deep, dark and warm brown colors. The brown with cadmium red is somewhat warmer. The midtones are a beautiful gray-brown with a soft shade of violet. The browns with the Venetian red are actually surprisingly close, maybe a little less saturated and a tad more yellowish, but they are so close that both will work very well. So the cadmium will give you the more saturated colors, and the Venetian red will give you the more natural skin colors. But of course, you can also combine them to get the best of both worlds. It can be very fun and beautiful to make your own mix of these two reds for your Zorn palette. Since cadmium red is incredibly strong, you mix less of it with the Venetian red. You determine the mixture yourself by trying different versions with white and then comparing those combinations with the skin color of the model you're painting. Often you will see that the younger the model, the more saturated your mixes will be. And of course, you can also choose different colors within your limited palette, so it will match your painting subject. I hope this helps. Thank you.